Hello and welcome to Pantheon of the Geeks. This is an unboxing video for the Adeptus Mechanicus Sicarians, or in this case, the Ruststalkers. There we go. So if you've seen, we'll have two videos up, one of each set of these. We're going to go through and build the kit like we did last week, because people seem to like that. So we'll start with the box. There it is, as I said, both sides of the Ruststalkers. And there's your colours and stuff, just as normal. Get it open. Get it open, let's look at the sprues. So, also last week I asked, should we do Dark Mechanicum or Mechanicum? And well, the overwhelming response was for Dark Mechanicum. So there we go.
And conversions.
And conversions, so that's where we're going with these now. They're going to become Dark Mechanicum. So we've got the rules in there. We've got a sheet of transfers, same as the previous ones. There you go. Don't have the extras on there, just Martian ones though, I think. Probably utilise some of them maybe. There might have a few left over on the... Oh, got big bases. Thought these were actually going to be on the newer bases, you know, the space free ones. These are actually the Terminator size bases. They're 40mm, I can't remember what the actual, is it 50 or 40? I can't remember. Terminator size bases, basically. So we've got two sprues, ones with a whole bunch of legs on, and swords.
Looks nicely laid out again, like the last lot.
Yeah, this is pretty good actually. You can see where everything is very easily. And then we've got the other one again. All the swords in one place, backpacks, guns, the works basically.
Swords look awesome.
Yeah. So as I said, we're going to do these as Ruststalkers, and then in the other video they'll be put together as the Infiltrators. So this is the Ruststalker video. So let us begin. And if you look on the front cover, we've got 1 to 4 is the Ruststalkers, then 1 to 9 the Infiltrators, and then 10 to 14 the Ruststalkers. Right. So 1 to 4 in the instructions.
Can I make these from over here?
Yep, so to get the tools ready. Okay, so 1 and 2, which is the body and a leg, and then 3 is the next part, which is the other leg, and then 16 for the backpack. So it's pretty straightforward on the old body, by the looks of it. Yeah, that should be pretty easy. So we'll get those bits cut off. So part 1 and 2, there you go. There's no real cleaning up needed on them actually, didn't see any lanes, unlike last week's. So that's part 1 and 2 together, pretty straightforward. The next bit just to clear on the other leg, that's part 3. So if you are watching us for the first time, last week I said about doing Dark Mechanicus. I've started the conversion. That'll be a conversion video up. There you go, there's the leg on there, really easy. And now we put that on the base. Again, should be pretty straightforward, just a bit of glue, as long as I don't knock the camera over while I'm doing it. And I was looking for ideas for the background for the Dark Mechanicus. So, yeah, I can get that on there, no problem. So what I was looking for was ideas based on the fact that Dark Mechanicus have like some sort of phage, which if you've watched Star Trek Voyager, you might get the idea that it's a disease where they've got to keep replacing their parts constantly by harvesting whatever they feel like and modifying it to their own needs. There we go, there's the guy on the base. Very straightforward. Not quite flat on the foot though. Other than that it should stick. So we've got the, yeah, there we go. It's got a very cool posture, hasn't it? It's almost like a cat-like stance.
It's like he's running forward.
Yeah.
Almost.
Like a raptor. Or a cat, sort of like, yeah, it's very non-human. I like that. That's what I wanted from the Mechanicus. Less human the better. So Yeah, the Dark Mechanicus, because I've been looking for some background and stuff, and there's bits and pieces here and there. I need a good name for the Forge world, that's what I'm looking for. So if anyone has any suggestions, good name for their Forge world. The reasons why it fell, probably around this phage thing, they got infected by this virus, much like the Death Guard did. Kind of their story, really, where they pledged themselves to Nurgle. And in doing so, they became his disciples, but also retaining a lot of the mechanical stuff. Because obviously, Nurgle can rust anything, it doesn't need to particularly be iron that Nurgle rusts. It's magic after all, or psychic powers, whichever way you look at it. It's the warp. It doesn't have to follow the laws of physics in our universe, which say that only iron rusts. Anything can rust, according to Nurgle. So based on that, tell me what you think. Tell me what you think. I was thinking, like, what would be a cool background? I'm going to have a look at the ideas that you come up with and try and incorporate them if I can into their background. So any suggestions would be great. Also, I'm converting these because so far I'm liking what I see, and so far I think just through painting this model will turn it to Dark Mechanicum. So the next part is the backpack, which is there. That should be pretty easy to stick on. So I'll do that. I'll prattle on about the Dark Mechanicum again. So yeah, any ideas? Welcome. Can't say I can definitely use them, but I would like to hear what people think would be cool. What their reasons for falling were. I mean, I'm a big Death Guard fan, that's why I kind of defaulted to that kind of storyline. This is a bit odd. How this goes on. There we go. There's like a little bit of a groove on that and it just fits in place. Rather than like a peg. A bit weird why they didn't use like a peg. Two holes basically with slightly different grooves on. I'll show it on the next one. That's pretty straightforward. It's got a lot of motion in there as well, I like that. Falling through from the legs being... You can see him running along. So that is stage 1, the backpack, and then stage 2 is the next guy's body and leg, which is 4 and 5, 6 for the leg and 17 for the backpack. There we go, I'll show you that on camera. And I'll show you the backpack thing, it's a bit different. And if you haven't seen the Codex video, this is the stickers we got today. These are car stickers. So my car can now belong to the Adeptus Mechanicus. I also got this cool badge, which I think is an Inquisition badge, but please let me know if you think it looks a bit different from an Inquisition badge that I've seen before. If anyone knows what it is, let me know. It's awesome. It does look like an Inquisitor badge though.
I was wondering if it was some kind of marking for like a general or...
Maybe.
Commander or something, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong.
It's just the arrows behind it, though. Very different from the usual. It's like usually 3 lines the Inquisition has.
Yeah.
So there is the back of his body. Wait for the camera to focus on that, hopefully. Hopefully you can see there's like, it's a hole, and then there's 2 little sort of like grooves at either side. And then the backpack has the opposite fit into that, which is a bit different. I suppose if it's hollow, it's less plastic, isn't it? Maybe that's what they're going for. Right, so we'll get this guy together. Okay, so there's a little bit of a mould line on the back of this. It can just be taken off by using the scraper. Same that, where it's been cut off from the sprue. Just use the scraper to take that off. And then, I think that's it, that's all the cleanup I need to do on that. The other leg's the same, and just a little bit where it's come off from the sprue. Straightforward enough. So we'll get this next body together, and then I'll be back. So that is the other side of the backpack. You see it's just round, there's a hole in the middle, and then it's got 2 little grooves, one at either side. That's where it slots in. And there's the body part, you can see it there again. So just put that bit together. And that one's ready. like so. So there is the picture of it, and there is the model of it. So again, lots of motion. I love the wide stance. It's just, you can see it's really, you can see like how they've got stalkers and infiltrators. You can see how they're like, just imagine them running really fast and hiding and then pouncing.
Skittering around.
Skittering around, yeah. So we get the next one done. And that's 10, 11, 12, part 19. And then onto the base, like so. Okay, so here's the completed part of this body. Lunging forward. Awesome sauce. Loving these models so far, actually. Considering I didn't like them, the first lot of Adeptus Mechanicus, I was like, there, I'm not getting them. I've completely changed my opinion, unfortunately. Unfortunately, so we've got to get loads. Sorry. That's not fair on my bank account.
No, that's crying.
Yeah.
Wailing, in fact.
And the Onagers that are out next week look just as cool. You get 4 weapons options with them. I can't decide which to use. Because they've all got advantages. Right, so we'll get the next one of these guys together. So there is the last of these bodies. So that's all the way up to stage 4 with these 4 bodies. There's the other part of the instructions though. The last body was 13, 14, 15, 20 onto a base. And that leaves you with 4 bases like that, which are these 4 guys here. 3 and 4. So then, for the Ruststalkers, not things that stalk foul is rusks, because that would be weird. You need to go to page 10.
Is that babies?
Yeah. Oh god, just a box full of them. Stalking rusks. There we go. Fabulous. Ruststalkers. So this one must be the leader guy.
The boss.
Leader guy. That is his name in
Leader
here.
guy.
Leader guy. Princeps. That's it. No. Is it? No. No. Oh yeah, it is. Ruststalker Princeps. And that's his next. So he's part 9, 8, 92 and 93. And then he's also part 95, 96 for his face, which is really cool. And reminds me of the old model I've got over here actually. This model that I found lurking about. I think it's from the 80s. If you know how old this model is. I think it's on the base, but I've covered the base in crap, so I can't see. There he is. Got a very similar face to that, I think. Looking at the picture. Very cool, I like that. That says Mechanicum to me. And then he's got this backpack, which looks like he's borrowed it from Doc Ock. Which are those parts there. So I'll get this bit together and the head, and this bit separate. So you can see what they look like separately. I should be back in a moment. Okay, just a quick update. The backpack part, so there's a sword from it. I've had to put some glue on there because if you see on there where the glue is at the bottom, where the bottom hole is in the sword, around about there. There's a fracture in across the sword, which wasn't made when it was cut off the sprue. There was also one across his arm, which is part 99. And while I was trying to just glue the arm to the sword, it snapped in two. That was the arm. Just from the pressure of trying to glue it together, there's the 2 parts of the arm. Part 99, it's that thin, it's just fractured, snapped. So I'm going to have to glue all that back together. So I'll be back with you when I've done that. Okay, so the 2 body parts, I can leave you with a cloak, like so. A set of legs, like so. And those 2 just go together. And this cloak will get some damage applied to it when I do the corruption process of converting it. But so far, that's the only thing I see I'm really going to convert on these guys. But I'll get back to you when these two are stuck. Okay, so there is the backpack. Show you that a bit. So it fractured on that join there between the backpack and the elbow. And the sword fractured. That seems to be solid-ish. As solid as it can be on these thin parts. I'm hoping that's not a theme. I'm hoping the others aren't going to fracture as well. But we'll find out as we go along. So this backpack's got a similar join to the others, unlike the picture, which just shows it like a solid. It's got a hole there, don't know why. And then we've got the head into the body. There it is. That's a two-part head, back and front. You've got to fit either side of the neck. So don't stick the head together first. Stick it on. And there's quite a few bits of things that have to be cut off, flash-wise and stuff. You still see a bit on there. Cloak only just. You probably see it's quite shiny from the glue I put on it, because it only just fits in. It doesn't matter too much to me because I'm going to be damaging the cloak up to match the corrupted dark mechanicum. But I love that face. That's so cool. Yeah, that just says mechanicum to me. So get the backpack on, and then we'll move on to the next stage. The next stage, you just stick the backpack on, which I've already done, and there it is, with the data spike thing. I think it's a data spike at the front. Looking very cool anyway, despite the fractures and a bit of a clean-up it has to have. So the next bit is to put on the cord claw, which is this thing, which is parts 31 and 51. And his other arm, which is the other transonic blade, which is 40 and 30. That should be finished. There's also a bit here, if you don't want to make him as the leader, you can make him as a normal guy as well. It includes the parts to do that, which is a different body. And then, I think it's different legs. Is it the same? 8 and 9. Yeah, 8 and 9. Same legs. So you do get an extra body on the sprue. I might use that for converting up a bit later on. Which means you also get an extra head. And like Claire pointed out, they do really like the Mechanicum version of Deadpool. Especially if you paint them in red and black.
Yeah.
It's like mechanical Deadpool. Okay, so we shall move on. Okay, so there's the cord claw. See that there? Camera focus. Quite creepy. And you can give that to them all as well, but I won't be doing that. I'll be giving them the two transphasic swords. And there is the backwards blade that he's got round behind. So that's his two transphasic blades. So you've got the option of giving these the cord claws, the rest of them. Is it cord claws? Yeah. Or twin transphasic blades. And while giving them the cord claws also gives you scrambler grenades and plenty of tactical options, and is pretty sound. I just think the two blades look cool. And that's what I'm going with. I'm going to give the rest of them two blades. So I'll be back when I finish this guy. This area is complete. He's basically a whirl of motion, bits going everywhere, cool. And he looks awesome.
He looks so cool.
That's my. He looks awesome, despite the fiddliness and the broken parts. He still looks awesome. But yeah, not happy about the broken parts, to be honest. Looks like they've fractured it when they've been pulling the sprue apart. If you look at it.
If you look at the sprue. I don't know if you can get that on there. It's very white, so it looks...
It's very rough, actually.
Yeah, it looks like they've proper snapped it.
So when they've been putting it in the box, they pulled the sprue apart and probably cracked it.
Yeah, they've grabbed hold of it there when they've come to snap it.
That's what I would say.
Yeah. So when you put the two halves together, you can actually see which way they've snapped it. So in order to snap it,
yeah.
They've had to have held it there.
So it might be less of a casting issue and more of a hacking issue.
Yeah.
But watch your games if you're watching. Stop rushing things.
Yeah.
Take your time. So this is the Ruststalker one. That's all the parts you'll need if you don't want to turn him into a leader and you're making like a squad of 10 or something. So you just want one leader with 5 other normal guys. And then that's the other parts for him on this page. With all the options. Go full Deadpool or Deadpool with a claw. Your choice. So then we're on to Ruststalker 2, which will be the ones that we put together right at the beginning in parts 1 through 4. So for this we need head 21, arms 27, 26, and swords 37, 36. So we'll get those bits and then we'll be back in a second. Okay, so the things that go on are these like packs, 105, 104, it looks like they're optional. I'm going to stick them on this guy and I'm going to put them on before I put the arms on because I think it'll be easier.
And there is 104.
104, so it is like a little...
They're like little panniers kind of thing.
Yeah, can't see it, it's not focusing on me. But yeah, that just goes on to... There's like little things on the legs, like sockets, which can be left open, so plugging them into machines and stuff. Right, so there you go, so you stick the packs on the legs, like so.
They're like little packed lunch boxes, aren't they?
Yeah.
So when they have
lunch.
the great day out, the grand day out, they put the lunches in there. You know, the tuna sandwiches and the Ribena and apple and that.
You don't need them on. I don't know if it really adds anything to it.
It does to them.
Well, it gives them a packed lunch, I suppose.
Yeah. I know, packed lunch plus two weapon skill or something.
I was gonna. Wow, that will be worth it. I was gonna say I wasn't gonna put them on yet, but I feel sorry now if I don't.
Yeah, I don't know how they'd eat it with the hands having like, I don't know, they don't seem to have hands, they seem to be holding on to the sword, so it'd probably be more like, I don't know, chop suey or something, wouldn't it?
What's one of the cables sort of extends like a straw and they eat a bit like a fly does?
Yeah.
I mean, they'll be alright for sushi because.
But that's, yeah. You know, maybe the mummy packed it for them before they went. Yeah.
Maybe. Okay, so there we are, freshly glued. Arm still moving slightly, and it moves into place. But I like these sort of like stance there. It's about to pounce on something.
It does actually.
About to pounce.
Hack and slash.
Definitely hack and slash.
I was saying about the faces
cool.
as well. They look like the robot from Star Wars in, is it Empire Strikes Back?
Yeah, you were saying the medic. I can't remember his name.
I can't remember. Medic bot.
It's a Medic Bot 4000 from Star Wars, the one that's repairing Luke's hand in Empire.
Yeah.
At the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it the end of Empire? Or is it the beginning of Empire where he's in the vat? Or is it both?
It's both actually.
Is it the same robot?
It's the same one, isn't it? I'm sure it is. I'll have to watch that.
And the guys, I remember having the toy of that.
Yeah.
And it was a little Vox type thing stuck in his mouth. He had a big square mouth, like he permanently went, ah! But this little Vox is stuck in and it had like a little grey wire. I think mine snapped.
I think mine just wouldn't stick in his mouth because it got that loose.
Alright.
It just ended up falling out. But he had like a clear plastic belly.
He did, he had a clear belly, yeah. He was sort of bluey, turquoisey green, wasn't he? The
yes,
metal
he
parts.
was. Yeah. And grey.
And grey. Yeah.
Grey wires, yeah.
Cool, we're talking crap now.
Showing our age now.
Yeah, talk about Star Wars. So that's the first of the Ruststalkers done. Next Ruststalker, which is... It's hard to tell which one's which.
Ruststalker 3?
Yeah. Which is, I'm just looking at the bodies and trying to figure out which one he is. Could be the middle one. That one there. Dunk. That one there, I think. Yeah, definitely.
That's what I'm going for.
Yeah, that's definitely him, I think. Partly. Definitely, maybe. Definitely maybe.
Definitely maybe.
22, 29, 28, and the swords are 39 and 38. Okay. So we'll get them together, I'll stick him together. If there's any problems, we'll be back in a second, otherwise you'll see the completed model in a moment. Okay, so there he is, all finished. Cool sort of backwards blade, and I've put the other arm above his head as opposed to in the picture, coming down. So it look cool. The head isn't an optional head, it has to go with that body, by the way. Those pipes fit in to those parts on the body. So it's not like a multi-part head. So that's the next one done. So now we'll move on to Ruststalker 4, which I've now got to guess. I think it's this one actually. That looks right. He'll do. So we need part 24 for the head, part 33 and 32 for the arms, and part 43 and 42 for the blades. And there's Ruststalker 4. All these cool glory. I would suggest putting the pouches on first before the swords. It is a lot easier.
Lunch packs.
The lunch packs. That's what it says they are. They're now lunch packs. Lunch packs before implements.
Implements.
There you go.
One more to go.
The next one and the last one. Stock of 5. And he needs 25. And he needs 25, 35, 34. And the sword arms are 45 and 44. And there's that body. Just there. Okay, so we're back when he's done that. And there is the last one of the Ruststalkers. Very cool. So, just put them all together so you can see them all. Whoosh. What did you think of them?
A little bit faffy to put together for what you've said. Like
Some
bits were a bit fiddly.
To be honest, he was fiddly. The rest of them were fairly straightforward.
Cutting them off, I found it a bit hairy with the swords kind of thing.
Yeah.
I was a bit worried about,
Especially after that first one.
But I think what we were saying is right. They've grabbed it
snapped it
and made a fracture on it.
They fractured it when they've been put in the box
because of
rather
the pressure.
than the moulding process.
Yeah.
But they are quite
brittle.
brittle.
They are brittle, yeah.
Yeah, they're brittle.
As a whole, they look awesome.
But they're very cool.
They do look awesome, yeah.
Got 4 Deadpools and sort of a cloaky Deadpool.
With extra arms.
Doc Ock sort of Deadpool.
Yeah.
So cool. So this is what happens after Deadpool starts working for Doc Ock. He clones him and makes multiples. There you go. There's the answer to that. So very cool. I like the models. Yes, I like them. There's a little bit of a conversion going to go on with the leader. I don't see what I can do to make them into dark Mechanicus. They're pretty dark looking already, if you ask me anything. They're pretty sinister looking.
I think the way you paint them will make them sinister.
I think it'll go with the paint on this one. And that'll be a green colour we're going to go for, the overall green. Now I've had a look at the Codex, which should be on another video coming up today, hopefully. The Codex review. And the colour schemes in there, you get to see them. But I'll be going for a green one, which isn't in there for the Dark Mechanicum. And hopefully you'll get to see the conversion video I did for the Rangers soon as well. Hopefully that's going to come up at some point during this week. And then if I do a conversion video for each squad, I might not do one for these because it's pretty much like doing the Rangers one. And we'll see what the Infiltrators are like next as well. So the Infiltrator video should be up today. Hopefully the Codex one and the conversion one's next week for the Dark Mechanicum. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Hope you like the new format of going through the models bit by bit as we have done. It's a bit easier to show you any problems we come across, obviously doing it this way.
Yep.
And hopefully you get to see a bit more. Unfortunately you've got to listen to us ramble on about rubbish. But that's the deal, I'm afraid. That's the deal. So thanks for watching.
Thanks.
Please like and subscribe if you want some more. And hopefully we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Take care.